guys, welcome back. My name is Morgan and this is My Glorious Leaves. This is the first video that I am filming in the painted plant room. And so I wanted to kind of show a couple of plants that I just potted up recently and then repot this other little Hoya Krohniana Super Silver. So the first one that I potted this up yesterday, is my variegated syndonium, elbow syndonium. I got this as a 2-leaf cutting in a trade from Lulu's Leaves, and it only had this leaf and it had another leaf, but that leaf died and I was worried I was doing something wrong, and as soon as it died it just put out this leaf here, which is just starting to harden off. The lighting's not the greatest here. Next one I did is my epipendendrum elbow here. I also got this one in a trade from someone, or sorry, this was an auction off of Facebook. Favorite thing, this is my Philodendron Splendid that my boyfriend got for me. It is a varicosum melanochrysum mix. See if I can do like that. That's kind of better. But so here's the leaf here and there, and this is the new leaf coming in. I have an anthurium effusispathium like sitting right here. There's like the tip of it and it hits it every time I go to show something, but it's got new growth right here, and I just am about to post the repotting video from, I think it's been over a week. I've been debating posting it. I made it, I filmed it, I edited it, I was happy with it, but now that I have this like prettier planty space, I think I'm maybe more comfortable with it. I don't know, I'm coming to terms with it. I guess it's just something we'll see how it goes. Next one is a Philodendron Gloriosum. So this is the leaf that I have now, actually just like the little stem part. I got this off of Facebook last summer, end of last summer. Actually it was early fall, it was like September, and I didn't know that Gloriosum was a crawler, sorry. So they actually, the stolon stays above the soil, so I actually didn't know that, and it was given to me as like a cutting, which I didn't know either. It was just one leaf, and I had repotted it a couple times, but anyway, I still didn't know that it was a crawler. So I've done as much research as I can now to understand that the stolon, which is this part here, needs to stay above the soil. So I chopped this up. This actually had some roots on it, still good, and I put it in that grow tent. So this started shooting out, and I was really glad it had an axial bud, because I was just recently told if a plant doesn't have an axial bud, it actually can't grow out of that node. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate or not, but seems to be the case, because there was another piece that I was able to save. So when I did save the Gloriosum, I cut in between, I cut this like stolon. This one has a couple nodes. I left it as that, and then I cut one leaf to try to save the leaf. It was already like yellowing at that point. The leaf couldn't be saved, cut the leaf off, and now that little node is growing roots, but it's not growing like a nub out of any axial root. I didn't actually see any axial root. So, axial bud. I don't know if I've been saying that the whole time, but if I am, sorry, I meant axial bud. So anyway, this is the like new growth on this guy, and I'm really excited for him to get bigger. It's this guy here. He's kind of in pretty bad shape. This side of the leaf doesn't look the greatest. Like, they are supposed to kind of, yeah, it's not supposed to be brown like that. So I think that's cold damage. It did have another leaf. The roots look okay. I've had to cut off like a little bit, and it did have a new growth point over here, which I opted to cut off because it was mushy, and I just thought the plant would be better cutting it off. So I'm gonna see if this leaf does better, and then these guys will be pals. I potted up this Anthurium clarinarium, which is one of my favorite plants, honestly. It is so like iconic, honestly. It's just so like perfect, and it's simple, it's plain. It just reminds me of like a spider in the center, like a bright white spider, and I just really, really love it. So now I had to go to an appointment. So just before the appointment, I went upstairs and I looked at my little greenhouse because I'm still moving things back into the room. But this is a Hoya Krohniana pink. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but it just grew. This is the newest leaf here, which is really beautiful. It has some spotting on the back. I've seen that on another plant before. I think it was just called cold damage. Like someone just said it was cold damage. Another one of my friends just told me that the speckling is kind of just for some Hoyas, just get it if it doesn't have like the perfect conditions. So my plan now is to pot up this lovely Hoya Krohniana Super Silver. It's got absolutely beautiful coloration, like it's completely silver. And I actually have another one of these that I think I want to pot them up together. They're from the same person. I did get it in a trade. And it was growing like across the soil, or across the moss. It was in moss. And I didn't know how much the roots had grown, but I don't like to keep plants long-term in moss. So I took all the moss off before my appointment, and now that I have time to repot it, I went to the dollar store and picked up some pots. I need some soil. So, now this was the other one that was given to me, but it just looks so cute in this little like cup. But I think I want to plant them together so I can have like a more full plant. Because if it's not rooted enough, I'll just keep it in the moss. But I don't want to keep it in there long term just because it's cute. I'll just pot it up with the others. This will be a nice thing. So I'm going to pot these up together. I usually use like a planting mat, but clearly today that is not the plan. I thought honestly like this new surface is kind of nice to pot on, but anyway, it's easy to wipe. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of soil in there. I had this from the plants I was potting earlier. I've set this guy where I want him. I kind of want it to curl at the top. I want it to curl kind of across. It's going to grow across the soil no matter how I choose. So I think I'm going to do it like that, and then they're going to be potted like that. I don't even know if you can see it. This is going to be horrible if I edit this video, and then you can't even see it if I go to edit it. This is honestly such a beautiful Hoya. I know that there is discrepancy on how you're supposed to, what you're supposed to call it. I actually don't know which one this is. It's mostly silver, and there's like splashes of green. It's literally fully silver, which I absolutely love. I'm taking out some of these bigger cocoa coir chunks because I have like a general like aroid mix, and I don't like to use a whole lot of those for Hoyas. But yeah, I know it's originally called Super Eskimo. That is not the name that they go by anymore. If this is the one I think it is, I actually got one given to me when I bought a plant off Facebook. It was my Thai Constellation actually. She just threw in a cutting, and it had like 2 leaves maybe. It was like a stick about that long. And it just, like, the leaves kind of like fell off. I actually didn't even really notice until like I was changing propagations because it was just in water. And I don't know if it's gonna grow anything. It has a bunch of nodes. It's in perlite right now in my prop box. So as far as I know, it's just called Super Silver. I don't know if that's just like what people are like opting to call it. But I know that it's a super silvery version of Krohniana, and I don't think it really matters like for the value or anything, like what you call it, because I'm pretty sure the silver ones are pretty much like all the same anyway. This one has so many roots, like this needed to be done because the roots were like 4 inches long, and I obviously didn't know that. I thought the girl honestly like just took the cutting from her plant, so I was just letting it vibe in the moss. That's why I wanted to repot it, because that's why I looked at it. The moss had actually turned like black, like a gross like black. So I was like, this needs to be taken care of. So this is Krohniana Silver. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? We will see. I'm just watering this Hoya. I think it just honestly might have dried out. It's in like an orchid pot where like the sides are open, and that might have just been the issue. It was also in my greenhouse, so it was super humid, and I don't water those plants a lot because of how like humid it is. It takes a long time for the soil to dry out, so that was probably my fault. But anyway, no, we didn't pot them up together. So super cute. It was only a 2-leaf cutting when I got it, and it grew this whole thing. It might just be new leaves, but what it looks like to me, Hoya grow out like little hands kind of out the stem, and I can see like little hands forming and then something at the top, and it looks like a couple like little buds. Maybe it's gonna flower, who knows. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for potting this with me and looking at all the plants I recently potted. Go check out the Splendid video. I'm gonna post that now. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.